Start off with was gearing up to be the game of the night. The Detroit Pistons beat the New York Knicks 126-111. I think it's the third time they've seen each other, and the Pistons have taken advantage and won all 3 games. This is a game, of course, where Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren were suspended. And on the other side, we didn't have any Miles McBride because he's out for the rest of the regular season. We got the debut of Jeremy Sohan, which was pretty interesting to see at the blue and orange hair. But the battle of, in a lot of people's opinion, the 2 best teams in the Eastern Conference. How do we feel about this one?
It was good. It was good for the Detroit Pistons. I think, again, one of my favorite things about the Pistons is that they're kind of built for playoff basketball. And when you watch them even in the regular season games, there's a certain intensity and toughness that will maintain even without the heart and soul of Beef Stew or the back line of the defense and Jalen Duren. They came out there and was still physical, still aggressive, and Cade Cunningham by far was the best player on the floor.
Yeah.
That is a big thing to me, is in a game where there's Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns, where we have OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Cade Cunningham was still by far the best player on the floor, and he's been the best player on the floor in all 3 of these games, and they have won these games significantly. I mean, this was a game that they pretty much had under wraps for majority of the second half. The previous game before this, they blew us out in a very embarrassing loss. And yeah, this is an eye-opening game for, I think, the New York Knicks. Mike Brown had some things to say before the game, saying that this did have some stakes because we got beat twice by them already and got embarrassed. And for them to respond that way, I think shows a lot. Cade Cunningham continues to ascend. I'm super excited for him. That's a guy that I think maybe a year ago I predicted would have an MVP in the next 5 years. That may be cut down to the next 3 years. I don't think he's going to get the MVP this year.
I mean, Shea is out for another week.
Is he?
Jokic is 1 game away from being ineligible. At that point, you know what I'm saying? Somebody got to win it.
Unless it means so much for some guys that, like, because tonight the Nuggets play again, if I'm not mistaken, right? Which would be a back-to-back. Or is that the Cavs that are playing?
The Cavs play the Hornets, which is like the greatest game of all time.
I think
the Nuggets do play tonight too, actually.
Okay.
I think the Clippers play tonight too, right?
So, like, even if you
Clippers,
wanted to rest or whatever, he could technically suit up and not miss the. You know what I mean? Like, we could see some people do that type of stuff. And then also, it's been a big conversation. Maybe this is the year where the NBA does step in and say, hey, we maybe overstep with that rule. You know what I mean? We're going to make some exceptions.
Congratulations for being the MVP of this season.
Right. Which, hell, I mean, he's had a phenomenal year as well.
Yeah, he just had a triple-double last night.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the Pistons came out, smacked up the Knicks. I mean, that's been the theme all year. Shout out to the Pistons. The Knicks got some things that they need to do. It's a little bit disappointing. Karl-Anthony Towns is still
just existing.
It's kind of frustrating being a Karl-Anthony Towns fan.
Like, he had a stretch in his game.
He scored like
That's what I'm looking at. Like
15 of like 15. Like he had a run by himself.
He finished with like 21 and 14, but the first half, he might have had like 2 points.
He had his own 12-point run where he scored 12 straight points.
Magnificent.
Yeah.
He turned the corner.
And then you look at the box score after he had that 12-point run. It's like he got 14 points on the game.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah. It's just like natural aggression, and I don't know if it just goes back to he doesn't know his role in the offense, but he needs to constantly be aggressive. He shouldn't have to have a halftime break where a coach is telling him to, put shots up or just be aggressive, get to the rim. It wasn't Jalen Duren out there. It wasn't Beef Stew. It was B-Ball Paul, and B-Ball Paul's been amazing this season, but Cats should have the advantage 9 times out of 10, especially going to the rim. There's just no reason why you should have droughts on the offensive side when, for one, y'all was for the most part healthy, and you have such a good offense with 2 talented players. He's got to be constantly aggressive to help y'all.
There was a couple different times in this game where he had a switch with Javonte Green guarding him on his back, and they post touching him, and Javonte Green didn't let him move. Like, he couldn't move him, and then Javonte, like, poked the ball loose one time and went out of bounds, and then the other time, he kicked it right back out and never touched the ball again. It's like that would be the frustrating part for me if I'm a Knicks fan, because like you mentioned, no Beef Stew, who's one of the best defensive players in the league, no Jalen Duren, who's been better and better defensively every single year. This should be a game where Karl-Anthony Towns looks like one of the best players on the floor. And the stat lines for Cat, a lot of times, it don't tell you, like he had 21 and 11. 21 and 11 is a good game, but when you were watching it visually, this didn't feel like a good Karl-Anthony Towns game.
Yeah, I mean, it came in that one stretch.
Yeah.
Like most of those, but like if you look at the whole totality of the game, Karl-Anthony Towns really wasn't on much this entire game, and I thought Paul Reed did a good job of just being physical with him And it seems like that's just the Detroit Pistons' MO. Like, I know they're a physical team, but when they see Cat, it's just like, we're going to be as physical as possible with him, and it just mentally just takes him out of the game every time. I just don't think the Knicks have a front court to physically match up with the Detroit Pistons when you talk about OG and Cat. Like, I just don't think they're physically capable of, like, matching that intensity.
Yeah, I think that the way the Knicks would win this hypothetical series is by overpowering offensively and hitting their shots.
Yeah.
This was one of the games where we know the Pistons are not a great three-point shooter team. They shot 43% from three, and some of these shots, like some of the shots Karis LeVert hit down the stretch when the Knicks were on they fake little run to kind of shut some things up. They had Dwayne Wade on the broadcast talking about like, yeah, he a sneaky underrated get. Well, like Karis LeVert for the most part been kind of trash this season. But in this game specifically, he was pretty good. And like P mentioned earlier, Cade Cunningham was a man amongst boys, like just straight up killing on all three levels.
I just love watching him play basketball. Like, he just moves at his own pace. He gets to that little mid-range. He elevates. Now once you done bit on the first few mid-range jump shots, now he got the three going, and now he hit you with a pump fake. Now he 2 feet in the paint, and now he's one of the best visionaries in the league. There's just so much he could do.
If he's hitting three-point shots, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Because I think teams are going to, in the playoffs specifically, going to go under him, going to tell him to shoot, just like they did last year when they played against each other. If he going to hit 5 of 11 threes, good luck.
Hit subscribe for more news, highlights, and analysis from the NBA on NBC.